This is a Poeartistry Gold Moment by the author James Lynch. Perceptive reader, in this Poeartistry Gold Moment, I want to ask you a question first. Have you ever heard of a director or screenwriter or producer named Norman Lear? Norman Lear was actually a very inspiring and also an enlightening writer who had his shows, his TV sitcoms during the 70s that really informed the public in a very humorous way the serious topics during that day. And they still actually could be said to be, during this time period, inspirational and still enlightening. Here it is, we're way in 2025. What is also a point of note that I want to share with you about Norman Lear, it made me think about writing in general. That statement that writing has saved some persons' lives. Some writers have actually said that they believe it was their writing that saved their life. Literally. And I'm going to even say spiritually as well. You see what I'm saying? So Norman Lear was a writer, and guess what? He lived to be over 101 years old. Now, isn't that something? Over 101 years old. And he was still receiving awards all the way up until I know the 2000s, I believe, for the different activities. He created over 100 shows, from what I understand. Something that was really produced or used in some way that you could probably look up and enjoy, whether it's a book or whether it's some type of show that he participated in. The main ones that come to mind, probably right off the bat, does happen to be Good Times, called Good Times. That show, it was interesting the way that he did everything. And this is the point that I want to bring out, though. See, Norman Lear, while he was still alive, you see, he was of Jewish descent, you see, and yet he made not only the Jeffersons, was it Archie Bunker? What is the sitcom? The Jeffersons, Maude, and some other ones that don't come to mind right now, but they were well known. The ratings were half of such shows that he actually did take input at times. You see, from even his cast. And like Esther Roll is interesting because when he wanted her to actually, be the wife and the mother on the show, she actually had some requirements for him, you see, to make sure to not have a single parent family, but at that point in time, to really still show that there were two parent, still black families, even though they were poor. And then she mentioned some other things that Norman Lear listened to. And some of the other actors like James Amos, and bless his soul, rest his soul, that, he passed away within this past year. And yeah, you'll probably hear me talk more about him in the future. But one thing about him, he also had some input that Norman Lear did take at times, but James Amos did have a very strong personality as well. So it was either after the second season, I believe, no later than the second season, then he was actually written out or fired or let go from the show. And Norman Lear, in some of his interviews that came about later, what he still mentioned is he did, take some input, but he still came to the conclusions. He listened to the creative aspect of the way that, many of us just have to be. That he was always saying that, you just can't be you really looking at and trying to adjust to everything that somebody might be trying to tell you to do, or basically who it may be coming from, because he used the expression losing. I'm going to say it would just be a losing battle. So you just have to do what you feel is still good work. And again, sometimes you can listen, take input, but all the same, if you know where your heart really is at, if you got that Bob Ross mentality about you can do yours over there in this way, but I'm going to do mine like this, and it's okay to be like that, then you know what? You just keep on being creative. Yeah, you just keep on writing. And hopefully, in a civilized society, we will still ascribe to what even persons way back, even in the 1950s, were talking about, like Margaret Smith, about, Americanism. There's actually a defined word about, the way that she defined it was like, we have the right to have a different view, so even opinions, even without any cost of being penalized for having them. And so I just wanted to mention that to you today, because in order to be a writer, and with today, all these many programs, especially AI programs, I think I'm a strong advocate for technology, period. Yet at the same time, I still want to emphasize that the writers need to still keep working on their craft no matter what. And they got some very fine, excellent AI programs out there. But as I told you before, I am a human writer. And yet, in the future, if I was to even just create one book or something with that, I told you I'll still make it clear what tool I did use if I ever took that route. Right now, at this point, I still have to, like I said, go along what I've been going along all these years with human writing. And so thank you for being here on this Poeartistry moment, and have a wonderful day.